So we're here on 2nd Street.
In Cedar.
This is 2nd and Cedar. And there's the new Pathways project.
Those are low-rent housing provided by the Hub Foundation.
Well, a couple days ago when I first got down here, all these blocks were completely filled with this type of thing and what looked like just junk, like a junkyard. And people were like making tunnels in these mattresses and pallets and stuff, and they had sleeping bags inside these little cubby holes. And then I came out at night and I realized that all these people were coming out of these holes or behind all this stuff. I had no idea. You would think that this was just a dump. And at night, you know, you'd see the people here and I was blown away. And then these notices started going up. And from what I can tell, from what people are telling me, is they're trying to get all the gear together that they want to save or get in storage. And they are trying to save what they can, and then every day a couple of garbage trucks come through since they got notice. And they're just taking anything that's not having somebody hold it down.
OSHA Newman, the lawyer for a lot of these people, was down here the other day, and he pointed out that the notices that they put up for eviction have no specific date. They said mid-June. And so that leaves us guessing. What I'm worried about is that they have these houses over here, is that it would be just like the city council to leave a gap where people are scrambling and don't have anywhere to live. That's what I'm worried about.
They're moving everyone because they're trying to clean the neighborhood up. They don't want people to get settled. They don't want us to have anything. You can tell that a lot of this stuff has been found. It's useless stuff that no one wants, that we're using and putting together and making workable again. So in a way, we're sort of essential to the community. But they have plans for this neighborhood, and there's a lot of building going on, including the freeway on-ramp and the revitalization of the Gilman-San Pablo corridor. Big businesses coming in, and they just don't want us around. I don't know why they're doing it, because we're just going to move somewhere else. They're not, in other words, they're not fixing the problem. They're putting a Band-Aid over it.
Yes.
They're putting a Band-Aid on a life-threatening injury. I mean,
I had a career and everything, and got put on SSI and couldn't afford rent. Got pushed down to, trying to camp, and every time you pitch a tent, somebody tells you got to move along. This was the only place you could land where you weren't harassed really every day. And so I ended up at the hovel on 4th and Harrison by the shelter. Then they busted that down. They broke that, took off, all my stuff got destroyed by Union Pacific. So I lost everything there.
What did you lose?
Oh, I've lost everything 4 times over, but I've lost my career portfolio, all my fucking personal photos, my deceased wife and daughter's photos, my wedding photos, everything, my family photos, everything from my childhood on up, my awards from NASA, all my suits, my professional attire. I'm out of a career. And now my stuff just got raided again. I've lost everything. Laptop, phone.
Is there any part of city services that has been helpful to you?
None. Not a one.
And when I lost my lease, I didn't have any money, and I thought I could move into the homeless community for a couple of months. But then I got in it, I realized you can't get out of it because they keep you here. The police keep you here, the city parks keep you here, and the petty and the young people, thieves, bike thieves, keep you here. They all keep you here.
How are you managing to keep your chair charged?
Oh, most of the time it's not charged. And I just happen to have a charge on it right now.
And Mom, but how are you going to travel? Like, is somebody helping you?
I hope. I hope.
With your wheelchair, you're going to pull everything that you salvage from here. And you don't know where you're going. So you feel like the people of Berkeley have been donating and helping you guys out?
It's been obvious. I mean,
The people of Berkeley rock.
the people that are kicking us out are not the same people that are sending down food and blankets and warm clothing and hot meals.
What's the difference? Who's giving you warm clothing and hot meals?
Certain public services.
But mostly it's churches.
Mostly it's what, churches?
Mostly it's churches and private individuals.
Like this guy down here. Yeah, he's his own operation.
And there's a guy that calls himself the food guy. And he's totally doing that on his own, out of his own vehicle. And he comes around every single day.
Support. I think that a lot of Berkeley actually sides with us. But when it comes to power plays with the city government, it doesn't mean a whole lot.
Here you go, delivered.
Oh, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Here's your creams and sugars.
Thank you.
Oh. That's okay. I walk on them too. What's with the arm? Yeah.
I mean, Berkeley's always been kind of a place where things were tolerated.
Well,
I hope that it stays that way, where people tolerate other people that are not necessarily exactly the same as them.
And if they just gave us somewhere to go, we'd leave them alone and they can leave us alone.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to be, we're not trying to be a problem, but we ain't trying to listen. You know, I'm not trying to, I don't want to ever live in their society again. See, I was in the military. I'm a discharged from the military. When I discharged from the military, the signs we got home to and the way people treated us about shooting kids in Afghanistan. I'm sorry. You know what? When a child runs up to you talking about love me, GI, and he's got a strap gun with C4, I'm gonna fire first and ask questions later. I don't care if he loves me or not.
There are some people that have drug addiction, maybe heroin or something. But for the most part, the drugs, people down here do the drugs because they're on the street. They're not on the street because they do the drugs. They're mostly mentally disturbed and they're stressed out and they do the drugs as a release, as a release from reality.
I mean, I never been arrested in my life, 54 years, until I got down here.
What'd you get arrested for?
They kept arresting me for like something in my area, like a pipe or so injection or contraband for injecting or ingesting methamphetamine.
So how did they drug test you?
No, never.
They just arrest you because you're near
They find paraphernalia on the ground. If it's close by you, they say that you threw it. Doesn't matter whether you did or not.
And what happened to the charges?
Well, I just got arrested the other day because Phelps was following me around after he told me I had to move my stuff, and I ended up spending a week in jail. And I told him, I said, look, I have medical marijuana. That pipe you keep calling a meth pipe is actually called an oil burner. When you buy it in the shop, you ask for an oil burner. It's for smoking marijuana oil extract. And they dropped 3 of the charges, and I got to go back on one more on June 27th. But like I said, it's just, giving someone who's a decent guy a record over and over again about something that he doesn't do, because I don't smoke that shit. I don't use needles. And I can't stand seeing them on the ground because that homeless stigma gets even worse when they see all that stuff, and they just assume every one of us is a lazy layabout when I'd love to go back to work. I can't live on $900 a month. I was making $200,000 a year. I'm making nothing.
But it is a community, and everyone knows each other's name.
How long have you been here?
I have been here almost a year. I was here once before, almost a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I had a nice place built, and had like a first aid station, and a soup. I tried to make a soup kitchen. I tried to make it nice, and they destroyed it, and just to make me move across the street. I was really upset with Officer Scott, and we had a little argument. Then I moved to other parts of the city up the north side and worked my way down, being moved along every 3 or 4 days, and lost a lot of stuff. And eventually ended up here again, only to find out that all the people down here were allowed to stay finally after a year. They'd finally realized that,
wow,
that getting people to have to. This was the first time they've done it in Berkeley. Getting people to like pick up everything and move everything every 4 days doesn't help them to, like, keep things neat.
Right.
And be good people.
Right, to set up systems, right, yeah.
And that's, so they sort of, these kids just, they don't care, you know, if they have to move every 4 days, that's why they leave, that's why it just looks like they junk places. And the city doesn't provide adequate places for junk either.
Was that the dumpster?
There's no dumpster. It's a cage that overflows because people throw stuff away faster than the city will keep up with it. And the city knows how fast they are and they won't keep up with it. It does make them look bad. Us here look bad because the city won't keep up with it.
I reached out to my government when I had when I first got my disability problem and asked for help, and what I got was not enough money to live on and pushed into the street. So why would I go back to the same people and ask for help when I know what the answer is? Sorry, we're not going to give you the resources you need. We're going to give you what we want, and it's not going to be enough. And if you don't like it, it's just too bad. So end up on the street and get harassed every day. You're putting me into Skid Row and then charging me for being here and telling me that I am no longer welcome in a city that I paid taxes in for over 15 years. Now I'm a worthless individual to you who's, you know, not only a second-class citizen, but I've been dismissed entirely.